With all the big pop culture blockbusters coming out, and with the Kapow specials which inevitably follow, sometimes it's hard for us to find time to review any unrelated titles.
Yeah, which is why 2 titles that we intended to preview have now since been released.
Yeah.
And so this is more of a review and a bit of a Kapow extra for you.
First, we have issue 1 of The Order of the Forge, a new title from Dark Horse written by Victor Gischler with art by Tazio Batin. It tells a story that will be instantly familiar to scholars of American history, about 3 men named George Washington, Paul Revere, and Ben Franklin, and about a magical axe. And zombies.
Ah yes, it's almost like reading a textbook, only completely inaccurate and with a lot more swearing. But it's the historical liberties taken by Gischler that gives this story its personality. As juvenile as it may seem, it's very entertaining to see Paul Revere cursing his head off, or to see Benjamin Franklin indulging his taste in prostitutes and booze.
Actually, that last bit's not far off reality. Liberties aside, I like to believe that if George Washington had ever been confronted with zombies, then he would absolutely have set about them with a big old axe. And that's a reason for a small gripe with this first issue. Despite the picture on the cover, the zombies never show up.
Well, this issue is mainly about setup.
I know, but it feels like they're burying the lead.
Well, I can see what you're saying, but for me I just think they're giving themselves somewhere to go, and they're establishing their core characters. It's when the supernatural things start to happen that Batin's artwork shines, and I'm looking forward to when the undead throwdowns start kicking off. I'm giving it a buy.
Fair enough, you certainly can't fault this as a guilty pleasure read, and I think these frat boy versions of the Founding Fathers are going to raise a smile or two, so I'm going to give it a borrow.
Next up, from our old friends at Humanoids Publishing, we have Swords of Glass, an epic fantasy written by Sylviane Courgiat with art by Laura Zuccari. It's a tale of magic and murder, of great cities, cursed ruins, and of course, climate change.
Which is an interesting topic for a fantasy story. But when it's coupled with a prophecy about 4 magical swords falling from the sky, swords which can turn people to glass with the tiniest slice, and which must be brought together to save the world, it sets the stage for a gripping race against time.
Yeah, there is so much to this series. It's a coming-of-age story and a quest for revenge for a young girl named Yama, a search for redemption for a former general named Miklos, and a desperate attempt to save a loved one for a blacksmith named Tigran. These unconventional heroes are flawed and compelling in equal measures.
And the world that the story takes place in is no less so. The creatures that roam its fields and forests put me in mind of creations from Hayao Miyazaki, and some of the set pieces are truly breathtaking.
Added to which, the ending of this 4-book series is, without going into any detail, very unexpected and very satisfying. I could not bring myself to put them down. I loved it. It's definitely a buy from me.
Yeah, look, I have to agree. The story grows and develops as it goes along. It's got complex characters and gorgeous artwork. It's a buy from me as well.
Excellent. Now, hopefully, there will be less awesome movies coming out so we can, get to previews while they're still previews.
You want there to be fewer awesome movies?
Well, they just space them out a bit more. Just give me space.
Okay, I'll let them know.
Good,
I'll
thank
write
you.
a strongly worded letter.
Thank you.